Welcome to ToV
They were so
Live.
bad.
To
They
ToV
were so bad that they
Live.
prompted Just John, who was a guy who
Let's try
painted
that
all the
again.
time then and shared paints, prompted him to do a
I forgot to turn
tutorial
off
on
some
how to
music.
paint
Yeah,
minis
go ahead, Dadscape.
because mine were so bad that he realized that people really needed instruction on just like the most basic things.
All right, and I totally screwed the pooch there because
No.
I was announcing, rest of us are talking, and I forgot to turn off a piece of audio, so everything was bouncing back at everything. So that's a great way to start the podcast tonight.
50 episodes.
Yeah, episode number 50. Welcome to TOV Live. It is Valhalla time, and it is the time where we're gonna do an overview of the Age of Annihilation Wave 1. Hello, I am Ryan, aka Tales of Valhalla, or you can call me Tails. And tonight with us, we have some of our usual panel. We have Josiah with us, we have Joe, we have Jeremy, and as a guest tonight, we also have Ben, Dadscaper. Welcome again to the podcast. It's been a little while, sir.
It has been a while. Thank you for having me back.
Yeah, it's great to have you. And I know, like, you've been involved a little bit with, or was involved when it came to Avalon Hill, the release of Age of Annihilation, and some of these minis. So it'll be great to talk about that with you tonight.
Yeah, I'll be happy to.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fun. But first, before we get started with that, there is some housekeeping things we need to do. We're going to be looking at some YouTube comments, and I have some YouTuber shout outs of up and coming content creators who are just some of them coming out of nowhere. So I want to give them a special shout out. And some of these guys need subscribers because they have very low subscribers. So we're gonna give them a shout out tonight. And there's already links in the description below if you're watching this on YouTube. And we also have a contest to give away. And actually, here, you guys can't see this. This is actually one thing that you can't see. But we are still giving away a Sir Hawthorne. There it is, right there. And that Sir Hawthorne. And I gotta show right here. That Sir Hawthorne was printed and painted by Sir Roguescaper Josiah himself. It also comes with an original card. And so we have about 30 some names that we're going to draw from in a minute as well. And so how about first, before we do that, I got to click a link. So here, hold on one moment. I have to remember what I'm doing. And this is me operating on, well, let's just say I'm tired, okay? It's been a long weekend. But all right. So first things first, let us go to comments, and what I need to do for that is bring this window up and then hit the share. Let's see. Make sure I'm sharing the right one. All right, share your screen. Yep. And then I need to go over here. There's a process for this. There, okay, and then I go there. And then I need to find the right window for that, and this should pop up so you guys can look at this as well. There it is. Yes, okay, I'm gonna bring it up. All right, so we're getting here.
All right, cool.
Yep. So now you guys can read this with be following along with me real time.
Great.
Yeah, I know it takes a second, but we can now start getting to that. All right. So first comment, and thank you for everybody who's been commenting on the last few podcasts. I know we're not going to be able to get to all of them, but I do appreciate and I read every single one, good or bad. We thank you so much for trying to engage and letting your voice be heard and giving your thoughts and opinions on these things. So always appreciate the comments from everybody. And Justin, I see you there in the chat too. Welcome tonight. Okay, first a comment is from Justin McKay, I believe. Yeah. Okay. I'll make sure I get this right. Yep. Okay. Yep. First one. All right. And Justin says, I really enjoy the journal entries as always. So this was a few podcasts ago when we were reading from the journal. I also have always found the lore of Heroscape to be really creative and engaging. and it's part of what got me hooked as a kid and still interests me today. I'm excited to see where the Age of Annihilation takes the lore further. Something I really enjoy is taking lore and such into heavy consideration in my map making for games and using it as inspiration for unique scenarios and army constructions. Always loving the content. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much, Justin. And yet I know, like, reading through Thorman's journal, it usually doesn't get the amount of views that we might get from other things because, I mean, I guess lore is niche and then Heroscape lore is like super niche, but I still like providing that for people who want to have that information. It's just easy to get, to watch someone read through it and get that lore-oriented perspective on it. Jeremy, would you agree with that?
Yeah, no, it's I mean, obviously, the story has always been a optional experience, and not a lot of people have had the chance to like get it. Because, like, I mean, if you look into it now, you have to do a lot of digging if you want to get any of the information. So putting it where it's easily accessible is that's just it's just a service because it's like it's opportunity for anyone that hasn't had the chance, wasn't there when the site was around, so the site's gone now, right? And the best way to get the previous information is go to the forum page and then get you the PDF of the compendium. But going through all those pages or choosing to use the wiki, because the wiki is being edited now, by the way, that's also cleaned up, so you can rely on it now. It's great. We're making sure all the bad stuff on the Wikipedia is getting removed. So that's nice to see. But yeah, like it's not like readily accessible, and I know a lot of people have a lot like busy schedules, things to do.
Right.
Especially, I mean, if you're playing Heroscape, you're going to want to play Heroscape instead of read about Heroscape. I get it, totally understandable. But when you have something to listen to, right? Something
it's fun little
listen
read
to
along
while you
too.
make the maps.
Yep.
Yeah, little read alongs. Audiobooks. I know audiobooks are getting really popular lately because the drive time, when you're having that what's it called? I forgot the word. Commute. Yeah, the commute. On from your way to work, it's something to listen to there. And the story has always been interesting, so it's something that's really nice to kind of get into and then see where, kind of try to make the connection, see where Renegade's getting their ideas from, because I know they're trying to connect it to the classic lore, and I want to see how it goes. So it's going to be interesting to see over time how that plays out, especially with the scenario book when it comes out. It's going to be a big one to have to read over.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, okay. And thank you, Justin, so much for that comment. And now next comment, let me see if I can zoom in on this, comes from Tiger Dactyl 6958. Thank you so much.
That's a dope-ass name.
And that's what Raylan writes.
Exactly, yeah.
That is actually what it is.
You see the, if you can see the profile pic there, I think that's kind of, well, it's almost. Yeah, it almost looks like Raylan, right? Although I know it's not. It's a pterodactyl and a tiger, but that's kind of a nice matchup. Yeah,
beautiful.
Anyway, Tiger Dactyl says it's time. It feels like the master set painted should be like $65-$75 more than the non-painted instead of 100. Since the battle box is $20 more for 6 painted units, 6 times 3.3 is about 20 figures. So 20 times 3.3 equals $66 roughly.
Oh man.
Even taking into account the dragon and Raylan are large units to paint, maybe Raylan would be the equivalent of getting 2 units painted, and the dragon is the cost of 3 units painted. $20 plus, or times, sorry, my goodness, my head, 3.83 equals $76 roughly. There's probably a cost that I don't know about, as long as they use the money to keep the
it's a question in the
this time.
In the podcast here. It says someone's got a question.
Who has a question? What? Say what?
Ben, you're not raising your hand?
I have my hand up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking at so many screens. Yeah, go ahead, Ben.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Give a comment. Yeah, I was hoping that you would.
Yeah. First of all, I love this engagement. I'm glad I get to read through these with you. So thank you for sharing.
For sure.
This is a great question. This question's come up over and over and over again. There are some things I can talk about and some things I can't. This is an area where there are some things that I can say. here's the limitation on what I could say. I was on the War Council, working with Craig and Avalon Hill, Hasbro. I'm allowed to talk about stuff from those days with some exceptions based on my NDA with Hasbro. So when I talk about stuff like this, it's outdated. It's from then. I can't talk about anything covered by my NDA with Renegade, but it's been announced that I was one of the playtesters, and I was. I can't talk about anything with Renegade. So when I talk about this stuff, understand it's not about the Renegade.
2022, yeah.
Yeah, it's not about Renegade business. It's about Hasbro business. But this is something that I talked about with Craig, specifically. Like he explained to me how much it costs to get pre-painted minis. Like they're not painted by machines. They're painted by people. And the people who paint them are painted essentially per stroke. In the old days, with the original run of Heroscape, they deliberately got minis that were simplistic. Like the sculpts themselves were poor, because if they got really nice sculpts, then it would be impossible to paint them, adequately, because Heroscape was pre-painted. Now we have incredible sculpts. The original plan was they won't be painted. That's how they could keep the cost down. So, I mean, this is Scott. This is all public information now from Renegade. I think Scott has credited Lee with working out a way to get them pre-painted at all. I am amazed that Renegade was able to get them pre-painted at this price point, 300 and whatever bucks it is, for a box of stuff that big. I'm amazed they could keep that price down as far as it is down. I would have expected. I mean, they said they were going to be pre-painted. I thought it was going to be way more than that. So this question to you comes from a very sensible place. Like, look at this little battle box. It's whatever more. So therefore, this big box should be that much more. I mean, for me, as a guy who's talked to Craig about it, and Craig knows a thing or two about making games, I am shocked they were able to keep this price down as much as they could. So credit to them. That's all I have to say about this.
To hop on that. Like I personally wouldn't be able to like price match what Renegade is offering for painted. Admittedly, it'd probably be a bit of a better quality paint job, but I'm like, I'm surprised that it's only $100, because there's minis that are big and they have lots of color schemes. It's not just like, the Swarm of the Morrow, you look at that, you're like, oh, a bunch of Morrow, it's cool, but Morrow are the easiest units to make. They're just a paint and a wash. It's so... But these are like, Admiral EJ11 is just like, he's got like 4 or 5 color palettes on him. There's some, and you got to think that just because of the big units, there's some really big boys in the master box. There's the bears. That's a lot of plastic, and I think the $100 extra plus, retailers seem to be having a discount. I think it's a good deal, and they're decent paint jobs from the look of it. So definitely, I'd be more grateful in that regard, and appreciative if you really are into the pre-painted camp.
Yeah, and it's also having both options too, like choosing to get painted or not painted. But even if it's not painted, it still has like a wash to where it's still slightly presentable. You could still open the thing up and play it, because they still look appealing as far as we know. So yes, very interesting perspective on that. Jeremy, Joe, do you guys have any thoughts on that?
No, it's pretty much the same. It's like I'm surprised the price is what they are.
Yeah.
I know quite a few people that are like, I needed painted things. I'm not painting. Like, I get it. Like, you know, I'm with you, but you know, so it's to me that's pretty decent prices.
Awesome. And yeah, so no, it's a great perspective to look at things because yeah, I mean when operating a business, I mean there's going to be costs for things, and it depends on what you got to do to produce things. So no, and yeah, excellent thoughts there, Tiger Dactyl, and thank you so much for the comment. And moving on, this came from Austin Fisher 7313. And this came from the last podcast, 49, the Fun Renegade Con. And Austin says, seeing genuine love for this, and that's what counts. Yeah, I mean, for the last... the last stream was primarily a reaction stream. So who knew what was going to come out of our mouths that stream, and it was mostly in the sense of just having fun with it. Yes, we were going to throw zingers as best as we could at that time, but it was all in the sense of just having fun, and we give our final thoughts at the end, and the majority of us were basically, okay, this looks good. There was no really major red flags, so that made things satisfying. All right, so thank you, Austin Fisher, for that comment. And then last comment comes from Kaitsuki. Says, and this is just a fun. This is a fun one. Says, hey guys, don't forget that this new terrain has its own magical properties, and 7 are included and can be added to any terrain to be any used with up to 4 players. That this new terrain has its own magical properties, and 7 are included to be added to any terrain up from to be used with up to. I think we get the point, Kaitsuki. Thank you so much.
You have to say in one breath. That's the requirement.
Yeah,
it makes it that magazine better if you imagine that they're just really excited when they're telling the copy. They're just like, yeah, and imagine I have a kindergartner, he's telling me about his day. It sounds the exact same way. He's super excited about it. So it's just
actually, now that you mentioned it, this sounds like my son. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kaitsuki, for that comment and just giving us a little chuckle tonight. All right, so that is, like I said, there were a ton of comments. I had just to select a few. So I appreciate everybody's comments, and keep on commenting, keep on sharing your opinion, and more than likely we'll be reading it. So thank you so much to everybody for that support. All right, so let's close that down, and then let's move on to the next thing. What is the next thing? Okay, so shout out. All right, so this is another window that I'm going to try and bring up here. This is a little bit more maybe complicated. I don't know. I'm going to see. Let's see. Let's do this. All right. Then I got to find the one that, okay, I think it's that. All right. I think I can share it. I think we got it. Yeah, I think we do. Awesome. Okay. I'm liking the sharing thing. All right. So now when it comes to, I got 3 content creators. Again, links in the description below for anybody who wants to, if you're watching this on YouTube. And so these are 3 content creators on YouTube that have just I've watched some of their stuff and have piqued my interest over the last few weeks. First one here is Derek's Hobbies, Interests, and Life Moments. And as you'll see, if I can scroll down, you can see just some of these windows. He does a lot of Heroscape gameplay style content, very much, and I mean, he's got a fair number of subscribers, but he can always use more. And he also does other videos when it comes to like life and other games and such. So yeah, I mean, very, very interesting fellow. I recommend checking him out and giving him some support and love. And you can see, look at that map. Just look at that map.
I love that map.
Isn't
the jungle water ice map? Is awesome.
Yeah.
It's Renegade logo too.
Yeah, it's a Renegade logo. on there. So that's
Super
that's
cool.
one thing I like about it. And he just posted like one with Quasatch Hunters too. So yeah, go ahead and check him out. I mean, and one thing I like, because I kind of do the same thing with when I'm doing skirmishes, although it's just me, myself, and I doing these skirmishes when I'm streaming them. But he usually has other players that he's engaging with, and it's a lot of just, okay, we're gonna play and figure this out and have fun. So yeah, definitely check him out and give him some sub love if you can, please. And second YouTuber that I want to look at here is Mystic Miniatures Forge, and he is really just getting started with his channel. Only has 22 subscribers, so I recommend, please give him your subscription. Now, he focuses more on Arena of the Planeswalkers, but I really like his content. In one of his first videos, he basically shares a bit about himself, especially over the course of like the last 5 years, and I consider it really inspiring message, and him just wanting to do his best to get content out there. So really appreciate him, and I'm definitely a subscriber, and we'll keep on watching his things and see. Look, he even has this thing. I don't know if we can see it here. Here, let me try and bring videos. Okay, like, I don't know if you can see that, but he basically put like a projector with Heroscape tiles to make like the water looks like it's flowing and such. I have no idea how he did that.
It was really cool. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it looks really cool, and he's even just posted something 11 hours ago. So I mean, he's really starting to get momentum in releasing more videos. So definitely check him out, Mystic Miniatures Forge, and again, link in the description below to check him out.
And Ryan, I think the at least the capture, you're still stuck on Derek's hobbies.
Yeah. Okay. I thought I was the only one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I didn't shift over.
Yeah, no, it didn't. All right, so maybe I need to stop sharing and then reshare. Okay, so everything I just said. Wait one moment. Okay, let me see here.
I mean, get a real look. Get a real look at.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Visually, it's a very interesting technique they used.
Okay, hold on.
It did give me time to subscribe to Derek Bosch's, which I already did now.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay, I just got it. So this is just an extra step in the process here. Hold on. All right. So there it is. And here we go. Okay. So let me just bring that up. And there we go. So again, there's his first video, which was about 3 weeks ago. Quarantine Miniatures, the origin story. So just talking a little bit about himself, like during the period of the last 4 or 5 years, like I said. And then there is the video of the Heroscape tiles and projector screen. So
yeah, I watched that. I enjoyed that a lot. It really inspires me to be like, okay, well now, how did he? What tripod did you use? What projector did you get? Like, what, how easy was this for you to set up? Can any of us just go start? Because I would love to do something like that for the Heroscape Adventures. That would be so cool. Like, I would love to design something with, like even if it's MS Paint, right? Like, just make something, maybe make some kind of video overlay that I can then make my map around, so that like birds are flying over, and you can do at least the water. The water I think is the most convincing. To make look like the water look like it's flowing, I think is the coolest part. But you see, being able to see like little birds fly by, or it'd be cool if like then you could add music or whatever, like make Heroscape, at least for the adventures. I don't know if anyone's going to be doing this for competitive matches, but I think even for the scenarios, doing that for scenarios would be fun.
For sure.
So that if that catches on, maybe that's something Renegade could do when they do their monthly scenarios. Like, here's an overlay for your additional experience. Throwing it out there.
It definitely adds an enhancement to the gameplay, for sure. So it's great that these ideas are getting out there. So yeah, definitely. Okay. And again, check out Mystic Miniatures Forge. And okay, so now I got to do this way. Okay, stop sharing, and then we'll. Oh, there's a process. There's a process. All right, and then we go here, and then last YouTube channel that I recommend people check out, and I really, really love this one, and he is just getting started. Rangers of the East. Now he's only got one video, but it's comparing every Heroscape Age of Annihilation unit revealed, and Rangers goes very much in depth and gives a very unique perspective to just this first wave one, and I really enjoyed just listening and watching through the whole thing. He gives perspective on how some of these miniatures might compare with like classic Heroscape, as well as like other lore thoughts that I didn't even think about when it comes to lore and stuff. So he only got 15 subscribers. Give him some subscriber love. Let's try and blow up this channel a little bit, and give him good reasons to make more content, because I would love to see Rangers just make a lot more videos with a lot more information, because he's got a good perspective, and I do appreciate that. So, any of you guys listened to this or watched any Rangers stuff?
I saw the video pop on my feed. I had it bookmarked to check out later. I was like, oh yeah, it looks really nice. I'm trying to keep a tab of all the people popping up. Just
it's tough because just everybody's coming out of the
so many new ones.
Yeah,
I love it. There's so many different. There used to be like the big three, and now it's a little bit more variety on the table, which is nice.
Yeah, this is definitely good variety. Joe, have you been able to watch it? Because I know we talked about this.
Yeah, I was catching up some of my other stuff, so I think when I'm doing some Minecraft later, I'll put it on in the background to listen to. So yeah, no, it's so good. It's so good. We need to be able to, now that Heroscape has brand new product out there, right? And so now hundreds or even thousands of people were going to be seeing this and go, "Whoa, Heroscape!" And one of the first places anyone looks for content is YouTube. And when they type it in, they need to see that there is a wide range of entertainment for them. So it is really good to see that there are people coming out of the woodwork, making content, and it's not just all the same content. It's all different types of content. Everyone has a different way of presenting themselves. I think it's fantastic, and I support anyone that comes in this community to make content for it. Because we need you. We need people to show off how awesome this game is. So
yeah, Rangers of the East
congrats
really
to all
reminds
of them.
me of Doggin Days. It really does.
Long form content.
Long form, very informative. Gives their perspective, but it's a really good perspective. So
I admire people who can do long form, because I'm always like, all right, let me take this hour and a half of things and bring it down to 7 minutes.
Absolutely. So again, link description below for all these guys. Please give them some subscriber support, and appreciate it so much. Now, all right, now I gotta stop sharing with this and do this. Okay, now everybody, it is contest time. And here, okay, there's a number of things I need to do before. Oh, and I still have it up there. So the picture of now it's helpful because we have a Spotify audience, so there are people who just listen to the audio version with us and don't know what's going on visually at all with this. But just for perspective, and hello everybody there out on the audio sphere, we do appreciate you.
You want me to describe what it looks like, Ryan?
Well, right now I've kept
there's this guy.
I've kept up an image of Sir Hawthorne the whole time there on the lower right of the screen, and I forgot to close it when I showed it before. So it's been there the whole time. It's saying, okay, contest me, and Justin's saying, pick me. Well, we'll see. You're one of the 30 plus entries in there. And
30 plus, yo.
Yep.
That's wild.
Yep, we got a few comments during the stream as well as after. And Rye Guy Plays Games there in the chat saying, what a guest on the podcast. Dadscaper is a gem. Yes, he is. And we're always glad to have him when he's able to join us. Okay, so yes, contest. We got to do this drawing, and it is for a Sir Hawthorne, again painted by Sir Heroscape, and an original card. So,
as Ryan is my witness, we've tried many times for me to get on in the last few months, and it just hasn't worked for one reason or another.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, for the audio only audience, Ryan is extremely handsome.
and very happily married.
Do not do it justice for its magnificence this evening. I interrupted. Carry.
All right. Now, okay. Now, see, now you start talking about me, and then my mind just goes everywhere. Here, hold on a second. How dare you do that to me? All right. So, okay, share the screen.
Don't mind shackle him too much over here. You know.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Wait a minute. I'm not mind shackle. Not mind shackle. Not mind shackle. Okay.
Trying to stroke my ego here. All right. Now let's bring this up. Okay, again, this is something that you guys will be able to see. Here we go. All right, I don't need that. Okay, click to spin. So as long as you guys can see that, again, we have like a lot of names here.
Oh my god.
So let's spin this and see who is going to get that Sir Hawthorne.
Recognize those names. Ooh.
Boom, 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 boom.
Ooh. What?
It is Jake Quadil. Congratulations! I will be contacting you sometime in the very, very soonest future, and getting that minifig to you. So appreciate you and thank you so much. And now let us move on. Okay. Gotta stop sharing, although I will be sharing again in a second because I want to bring up Justin says here, before we get to the next segment, Justin saying in the chat, next time you do a contest you should go over bio strategy of whatever you're giving away if possible. Like how so, Justin? I mean, I'm
how we do the bios for the other characters, like go over the bio, like even if it's something that we've covered before, just like go over it again.
I see.
Just in case if someone's like not sure, not
sure
they are, what they do.
What to do about it. Yeah, we could get.
Yeah, like I entered this contest, but I have no idea what I'm winning.
For sure. No, I get it. We can do that because I'll tell you one thing. Sometime in the future, there's gonna be some high value stuff that will probably be given away later on this year. Could be something as special as like a Sir Hawthorne here. And if I say Mesodemon Warmonger, that might pique some people's interest because that's a possibility too.
Nice.
And I know sometimes people have a hard time getting their hands on those things. So yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, so let us get into the main discussion here, and that is basically talking about these wave one, these 3 boxes that we're going to get. And some of us have already covered these in depth, so we're just going to give an overview. Point 1, what we really like, what's our most favorite, and what is our most unique criticisms on it. And let's try and think about something that hasn't been covered yet, because I know there are criticisms abounding out there. And before we and just keep your minds on that, I'm gonna share let's see here, the Heroscapers, or not Heroscapers, the Heroscape quote unquote Heroscape.com, the Renegade link, so we can actually look at what we're talking about if we bring up any of these. So here, let me share screen. There we are. All right, just pop this up. All right, so who? Let me see. Joe, if you have time to think about this, give some thoughts. So tell me, number one, what thing do you like the most about this?
I love the battle box. I love the idea of the battle box. I talking about things that I've covered. So I know you're like, think of something that hasn't been covered, Joe. I'm like, well, it's gonna be kind of hard. So I'll reiterate. I talk about in my video the battle box, $65, painted miniatures. You get terrain, you get some trees, you get the specialty wellspring water that heals you, which is pretty dope. And I feel like I think it's been announced that that the unpainted stuff is going to go in the stores, but not the painted stuff, right?
I don't know.
I've heard something about that. But even so, if I was running through Target or Walmart, just like in the good old days of Toys R Us, rest in peace, but only in, I guess, in Macy's or Sears now. I think that's what Toys R Us has been shoved into.
No, Toys R Us is bankrupt. They're gone.
No, I know, but I think one of either Sears or Macy's, they have a mini Toys R Us stuck inside the store.
Okay.
I saw one in a Macy's.
Macy's? Okay, so it's Macy's that bought them. Okay. So there's like mini. So anyway, what I'm getting to is if I saw a $65 game, I think most people could be like, okay, I'll get that. Try it out. Sure, you're not playing competitive armies, you're not playing multiple squads or anything like that, but play the 6+ scenarios. Play with all different types of units. Get a good feel of the game. Be like, oh, there's a bunch of expansions for this. All right, test it out. I think it's a great way to start the game. I think sure, it's not the master set we grew up with, but I think it's probably the best bang for your buck right now. So
the battle for the Wellspring battle box. So just in general, Joe, that's your basically your favorite out of the whole bunch.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking the boxes, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it could be like individual miniatures within the boxes. I mean, it could be anything about.
I mean, Bachburnau is in that box, so. I mean, that's not a coincidence by all means. Okay, like that's.
And Dadscaper, do you have anything to do with Bachburnau?
No, yeah, Dadscaper.
No, he's muted.
Yeah. I mean,
created Dawn's Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, we've covered this before, but sort of the short version is that the way the War Council worked was each of the designers on it was assigned an entire faction to lead as design. So, I mean, I led the designs of the Armored Bears, the Pirates, and the Dryan. And I mean, I've said before, in all likelihood on this program, that Bachburnau is probably my favorite design in this set. I had a really particular vision for how Bachburnau would work mechanically, started on it early, went through a lot of changes because it was workshopping, and we had excellent other designers and playtesters who could give me feedback. The design changed, the vision was always true, delivered everything I wanted. And because I've shown you before, I have a very special memento from Craig, which was he painted up a Bachburnau mini for me and sent it to me.
Oh, nice.
Here, I'll show it to you guys again. Josiah might not have seen that episode of this show because it was like 4 hours long.
There it is.
Oh, that looks so cool.
Look at that.
Wow.
Here's a hand-painted Bachburnau from Craig.
And I apologize for anybody in Spotify who can't see this. Go to YouTube, and then you'll be able to see.
That's so good.
Yeah,
they got that little thing in between his legs, which, if you look really closely, is the head of the widow.
Oh,
see it there.
Oh, wow.
that's awesome.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, Joe knows his way to my heart.
Love it.
Yeah. All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh,
I
no.
guess that was the long answer to a short question.
Oh, that's fine. And Joe, what about your biggest critique?
I mean, I will always talk about how things are advertised. That would be my biggest thing. It's like they need to advertise the living hell out of this. I mean that's technically also our job, but I just want this to succeed. I don't want this to fall between the cracks. Obviously we could talk about the card deck, the graphic design of the cards. We could talk about the the prices. We could talk, the little small things that can change.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I need to see more ads, commercials, but obviously we'll see that in time. Obviously, I think Ryan and I, we've talked about it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, they need money to do that. They don't have a lot of money right now. We have to give them the money to do that. So we'll improve. We're starting from scratch again. We're going from scratch. So hopefully over time, Heroscape will become just as big as Warhammer, and compete against everything else. Fingers crossed, but we'll make it happen.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, and I can kind of relate to what Joe is saying because I had my own NDA, and that was more on the not really advertising side. That was an advertising project. It was more of like a woohoo introduction project, which when it comes to like Epic Made and designing the gate of Valhalla for the introduction in Renegade Con, I will be talking with Carl and probably one or two guys from Epic Made in a few weeks. We're gonna actually, I'm gonna sit down with them during the week and talk about that process. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. But yeah, it definitely, when it came to budget, from my understanding, there was a lot less to work with than it was when Avalon Hill I had the reins. So it's an unfortunate thing, but at the same time, you got to work with what you got to work with. So now, Jeremy, how about yourself, sir? What is your fave? Or hold a second. Let me get. Hold that thought, Jeremy. Give you an extra minute to think some more. I just want to catch up with the comments here. Justin saying favorite Wave 1 unit is Frostclaw Paladins. Things I don't like: Frostclaws don't bond with Valorak champions anymore, and I have to wait for my Vord Glide Strikers. So your Derek. Derek Hobby's interest in life moments is actually in the chat. Derek's in the chat. We just gave you a little bit of a shout out and support for your channel there, Derek. A little bit ago. So it says, I hope this game can compete with the big boys of the tabletop because it is so much more approachable and way less strenuous on the wall than the others. This is a very true thing, because Warhammer, and we discussed this before, but Warhammer 40k, and yeah, and I mean Jason,
they don't even have the models built for you.
Yeah, I mean, and Jason, if Jason were on, he'd be able to tell us more, because I know Jason does a little bit of Warhammer 40k, and it is a pretty pricey hobby. It's a lot. Yeah. And Derek's saying, I just missed it. I was watching Netflix. Oh, well, we'll forgive you. Thank you for mentioning me. That means a lot. No, Derek, you deserve a shout out because you've done a lot of work on your channel. So we do appreciate that. All right, Jeremy, go ahead. Give your favorite thoughts here.
Alrighty. I guess I think overall it's just it's nice to see that we can rest easy knowing that the designs that were worked on for the Vanguard edition will be eventually all coming out at some point. I like that notion. I like the notion that, yeah, they're starting small because this is what the budget allows, but they have promised that we will see everything. That includes all the exclusives, and we already have the 2 different options for exclusives now. You get, if you pre-order now, you get Sergeant Drake Alexander. If you participate in the launch tournaments, and if you go to Gen Con, you're going to be able to get Shiori. It's already opening. Like I like the public display, if that makes sense. Like there's a lot more interactivity out there with the game, and this is the thing I've always struggled with, right? Is finding people to play Heroscape. Like that has just been the number one, I guess stumbling block in my hobby is finding another player. And so with the promise of a battle network, or the promise of registering stores to an actual map that people can look up and get information on who's playing what, when, where, like that's going to be a really nice opportunity to spread the brand and then get more people to play it. So I really do like that. I think they have the battle network and the launch tournaments and the organized play all show promise. I immediately got all that information and delivered it to the local store, and I will be doing event organization at that store. So like if anyone's in this area, you could expect to at least be able to drop by and grab yourself some promos if I got any on hand, or if we're doing any events and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to be able to help get that out there, because it's like, this is awesome. I have a reason for all of this. Now it's like I can do things.
I see bins in the back there.
Yeah, just to point out, and this is for those that are watching the show, I finally organized my Heroscape. First, very difficult task at hand, trying to get that thing organized, at least into a decent way that's accessible. I'm very proud to announce I know where my stuff is now.
I expanded your window here. Go ahead and lean back and let's take a look. There it is. There it is.
This is only one though, by the way. Like it extends. I have I've set it up. This is designed to get interest on my channel whenever I do shows, and I'm broadcasting a lot of like short form content on TikTok, where I'm like, hey guys, you want to learn about what Heroscape is? Well, this was the previous master set. Check out the new master set, things like that. So it's like really exciting over time overall, and I'm very hopeful to see the future development of what comes out from just the public display of things. Like I don't know. I want to push organized play to the front and try to see how that works out, and what kind of opportunities that can develop in the future. Because I know I promise you, I go to a game store, I set up a map, and there's already people asking. They're like, "What's that? Oh my gosh, that looks cool!" Like, I mean, it is a very attention grabbing game. So it's already got its worth in visual aspects, and I'm just excited to see where this goes from here, especially with all the promotional opportunities they're pushing out there. So pretty cool stuff. Oh, and the Admiral. I'm just.
Here,
the thing is, like,
let's bring him up a second, okay?
I had this like initial fear that the Admiral was kind of like he was going to change, mechanically, and I had already I say practicing, but like during my Age of Annihilation presentations, when I was showcasing the Vanguard Edition stuff at my game store back in the day, and when I went to ScapeCon, I used him in combat. I drafted him. And he is great. He scares the hell out of everybody, because I mean, they see that defense, they're like, "What?" And I promise you, no matter, like, I don't know what it is, but I've learned that if I can grab at the Admiral and I put him on a place of height that's easily defendable, I mean, 7 defense is not fun to roll against. And I mean, he blocks a lot. He blocks so many hits, and I was so excited. I was like, "Oh man!" And then of course, seeing that they were going to bring him back, and I was like, "Okay, this is really awesome." I mean, his bio is really cool. We got a really interesting take that was presented for the Soulborg here. His mechanics are pretty much the same. I think they've updated the point cost. I think he's back. He's to the original point cost, which was intended to be 170. But everything else from what I checked seems to be exactly the same. So I'm like, I already know how to use this guy. He's definitely the first. He's the one I'm going to be fielding a lot, especially if I'm presenting the game. So. Dadscaper's got a It's like, I like this unit. I tell you that, Dadscaper. I love this unit. So
I appreciate that you guys are flattering me. 2 quick things about this one, which probably won't end up being quick, because my day job is I'm a lawyer, and so I do my best. things take a long time.
Agreed.
First of all, this is one of two designs among the pirates that, like, I had a vision for this mini that was sort of a different theme, and I presented that to Craig, and Doc had his own vision for this mini.
Yeah.
And they were both such good designs that I couldn't decide as the leader of sort of faction which one I liked more, whether to do mine or whether to do Doc's. So I sent them both to Craig, and Craig was like, let's do this one. And it was Doc's. I have, like, that's awesome. So this is what you're looking at here is a Doc design, not one of mine, which I'm at peace with because I love this design and I love that you love it too. One thing that has not, many of the designs had their names changed from my vision at the beginning by somebody, either Avalon Hill, which happened with a lot of them, or maybe later, as far as I can recall. This is a design, name has never changed, with the exception of his title, but Admiral has not always been Admiral, but now it's Admiral. What has always been the same is EJ-1M, which, as some of you know, is a reference to, like, OG Heroscape legend Jim McMahon, whose name is hidden in there, and that's something that's never changed. And I suppose I'll get my own turn. And there are things that I am grateful for, things that I wish were different or whatever, and I suppose I'll get my own turn. But one thing that I'm grateful for is that this design's name has never changed. And no one's ever talked about it, even though, and really it was Avalon Hill, went through and, like, overhauled a bunch of names I had for things. But this wasn't one of them. So I'm grateful that the Admiral's name is the same and that Jeremy likes him so much.
He's a cool character.
Awesome.
For sure. No, and as if I recall, is this is one of the OG heroes. He passed away recently, right? So this is like a it's a
an
reference
in memoriam.
and in memoriam, and that's really special. I think that is something to really respect about the Heroscape community, is that they honor all their members, and I've seen dedicatories and special mentions to individuals that have passed on, and it's like not only are we playing this game for the hobby and being able to introduce it to new people, but we play for the legacy of those that were playing with us during that time frame and continued to play. And I think that's a really special thing about the community, that we maintain that awareness. It's really, really it's comforting to know there's those mementos.
That's one thing I appreciate too, is the fact that this, I mean, it's like now, 20 some years. I mean, it's turning into a legacy.
20th year.
Yeah, it's turning into a legacy, and that is one thing that I feel one of the reasons why we want to keep on doing what we're doing, to promote this, because even if people who originally designed this didn't know what it was going to mean to people, back in like 2004 when they were developing this, it does mean something, and it means something probably differently to everybody, but it's still profound, and that legacy continues. So yeah, all good feels on that. And so Jeremy, now do I dare ask, what was the worst? Like, you can be creative if you
want. I don't know, like, because, like, particularly I didn't really have like a strong, like, negative reaction. I find it more, I think of it as like a curiosity mainly, as just noting a lot of the changes that were made, because I want to see what the design direction, or that if there was a way to see the intent behind it. That's my curiosity, because it's like there's a lot of changes that didn't seem necessary, But it was like it's just curious overall. It's like, oh, I saw that you changed the general for this character. Or I saw that you changed some stats or something like that. It's like if they gave like it would be actually a really cool content thing. I think if the Renegade designers were like, hey guys, so you may have seen it like this. This is what we did, and we want to talk about it and just have like a because like dev diaries. I mean, that's a thing I've seen all the time. A lot of people get out there and explain the design decisions because it's cool to hear the minds behind the creations.
Yeah.
And we're seeing all these changes, and a lot of people are probably asking in Discord. I've seen a lot of people asking in Discord, like, "Why'd you do that?" But like not even in a negative way, but in a curious way, like an exploratory sense. Like, all right, we see that you changed some names. We would like to hear, what your story design or your idea was behind it. That would be really cool. I think. Oh well, okay. No, so tiny. This is probably like really specialized knowledge. I do have one mini beef, but it was like so obviously I've been working with organized play, and like I've been going into the instructions with that, and thanks to the individuals who went to the Gamma, it was the Gamma trade show, something like it was the Louisville, Kentucky thing where they were showcasing all the stuff. They had all the miniatures out there, and they were showing the different stuff, and I was really really excited to bring the information to the local game store, except that pre-order special pre-order set that they have you do it's like a bundle, like they got everything. It's like a little table, a little setup, a pop kit, posters, all that stuff, all this good advertising stuff. The pre-order set, you get like 12. I think the set comes with 12 Sergeant Drakes to promote as pre-order options. Really good set, really expensive. It was really expensive. And I was like, oh man. So I had to like I went to the game store and I was like, well, here's all the information for you. And I completely understand if you don't want to buy that. If you just want to order a few sets, I can help promote the few sets. But I was like, that initial like the bundle set, wow. Definitely
Pricey.
higher priced for I think bigger stores. Bigger stores would be able to promote something like that. But like some of the smaller stores I've worked with, I'm like, oh, sorry guys. If you want to, only if you want to. But it's that was my only like noticeable like oh man, you know what I mean? Like I was just like that was a hefty price to ask for wave one. I understand, right? Like if we're talking about foundational budget, like if they're just trying to establish a budget for the Heroscape brand now, they got to start pretty up there to like not only cover costs for this set but pave the way for the wave 2 that they have planned to announce, pave the way for whatever else they have left. I understand,
a matter of a few months,
but it's like yeah, and it's a matter of a few months. So they got 6 months to kind of like pave the way for this release. So the franchising is a little pricey, and I can understand that. But yeah, I felt really bad like bringing that to the game store. It's like, hey guy, I know you're interested. Here's the info. I'm just giving messenger only. Here's the stuff. I'm absolutely okay if you can't afford it. You know what I mean? Like I can totally understand. I was like, ooh. Because you can actually, if you are in, I mean, I don't think it's like information to be just because it's like retailer information, so it's obviously information that would pertain to a store. Because as I was getting deeper into it, I was like looking into the files. It was like, oh, here's a file your tax form or something. And I was like, oh, I don't know what that is. I don't have that, so I'm not. That's information that's outside my hands. I was like, I don't know what this is, but here you go. And I was giving this all to the game store guy. I was like, here's the they're requesting this information, but if you do this, you'll get distributed. And yeah, so that was probably my only time. I was like, but like the rest of it has got me really optimistic for what lies in the future for sure. Especially knowing that we will be eventually getting everything that was promised in the Vanguard edition. That's an exciting prospect to look forward to. So we got a lot.
For sure. And let me catch up with the chat here because we have a few more. Let's see here. Okay, Derek's Hobbies again is commenting. Having trouble finding consistent players is no joke. If any of you guys ever swing through Omaha, you're welcome at my game table. Derek, we will hold you to that, and if we ever are near Omaha, it'll definitely be a date, sir. We appreciate that.
Oklahoma. Oh, that's Nebraska.
Nebraska, yep. Nebraska.
Yeah, that was Nebraska, yeah.
And Derek also says, I've thought hard.
Gen Con.
Say what? Gen Con? But you're muted there, Ben.
Oh. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm having some weird thing with my noise down here,
Okay.
so I'm muting myself. Yeah, hopefully he can come to Gen Con. I think it'll be pretty awesome. Got a YouTube channel making awesome looking maps. I hope he can come to Gen Con and at least the first few days of August find people to play with there.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Got tournament. We got tournament set up in Gen Con, so.
And Derek also says, I've thought hard about it. Besides that concept art from the Dawn Raiders, Admiral EJ1M was my favorite new thing for Heroscape. Everything about him. So yeah, he agrees. Derek also says, weirdest change, Knight Irene. I mean, there might be a story behind this, but until it's explained, it is strange. And Justin says, Knight Primus Oberon was such a cool name. Hopefully it can be used later. Well, and I talked about this in the previous stream when I looked at Knight Irene. I mean, I'm not as negative. Actually, I think of it as almost a win, because I think it would be a fun story element for Tales of Valhalla, to where you have like a character who falls in love with this mad bear lady and writes poetry or a sonnet to her, and she just gets more and more. Exactly.
She got metal hands,
and she just gets more and more furious over it's. I think that would be
metal claw hands. I'm not.
that would be a lot of fun with that.
Oh.
Okay. And Josiah,
I'd have to look at some old notes to find out what my original names were for those.
Oh yeah,
heroes. But you guys have never seen them. Whatever they were, I don't remember. But you guys have never. The names that have been attached since have all been by people other than me.
Yeah, it's a process, I'm sure. Josiah, what are your thoughts there? Yeah.
So I think the biggest thing is, I mean, it's coming back. That's just it's kind of obvious, but it's nice that we don't have to be in this chamber of will they, won't they, what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm sick of speculation. It's here, and honestly, people should be pretty grateful, because they got the majority of things they wanted. Most of the original designs are relatively the same. There's painted and unpainted options, which that's my personal greatest thing, is that there's options. I love to paint. But I was afraid that was just going to become totally painted, pre-painted. So you have to pay the premium price when I didn't really want to pay that, and you're kind of stuck with the paint jobs. But now I have the option to kind of keep on doing what I'm doing and teach people some current stuff people are excited for. So that's definitely something I'm just really stoked about, is you can have your cake and maybe eat a little bit of it too in this situation. And I think honestly my negative, besides some of the nitpicks with the car design, I've talked a little bit about that, but I've accepted it. That's something I can fix or make. I honestly can't tell if I have a background in graphic design, so there's some things I would change. It's not the end of the world. It's not they're not my favorite designs. But honestly, some of the lore entries and character kind of story is a bit lacking. Like the Bonnie character in the Master's Set.
I couldn't tell you that is a very strange one paragraph or one sentence paragraph.
It's like, can you tell us something? Also, I don't have a narrative sense of what the Age of Annihilation is. That might be.
That's probably. I would say that's a scenario thing.
Like we have a new general. What's she doing here? I'm hoping we get more of that, because the Age of Annihilation just seems like a bad peace summit. But like, what is it? Like, it sounds.
What is it? What do you mean peace summit? What are all the generals come up and, all right, guys, we should probably start fighting. And then like Revna comes in, nah, not today, and just starts smacking everyone around.
But we haven't like heard any of that, so I hope we can dive into that. But the Annihilation theme definitely has seemed to be lost a bit. It's kind of been shadowed, as well as I think the only thing I would like to see is that we haven't seen any wellspring water tiles on the map yet. We haven't seen any trees built on the map yet, and I know that's still in production, but in terms of kind of big things that definitely I'm looking forward to see how they look. No one has seen it officially on the map, so that's something that I'm sure in a couple weeks will be adjusted, but it definitely still feels a little bit in development, even though it's coming.
For sure. For sure. Well, thank you, Josiah, for that. And Ben, the floor is yours.
I just wanted to. What I'm hearing from Josiah, and Josiah, correct me if I'm wrong, but like sort of part of what you were beginning with was like just excited it's coming back. Like it was discontinued in 2010. Like my son was 10 now. Like then he was 10. Now he's got his master's degree in aerospace engineering. But like I hope that this goes on for years, but be present. You know what I mean? Like these are awesome designs and they are being added to the the received canon. Now, I'm not going to I am certainly aware of sort of the drama that happened between then and now, but but like at least for me, I am so grateful that these great designs are coming to you guys who have been part of the community for all this time or are newer to it or whatever. Like, you know, I've been there, Jeremy, with you in the game shops running tournaments, and people are coming by like, what is this? This looks awesome. There is a space for this game that even now, with all the games that have come out since Settlers of Catan, there's nothing like Heroscape. It sits in this unique place between like the Games Workshop stuff in the back of the game shop that like consumes these entire tables. You don't need to do that for Heroscape. Like Heroscape is a game. You guys were, who was it? One of you guys was talking about whether it was designed to be this thing. Ryan, it might have been you. Was it designed to be this thing that is such a part of generations? And the answer is it was. It was a game designed for parents to buy to play with their kids. And that with Age of Annihilation, that is what is, God damn it, still in 2024 coming to a store near you. So, I mean, I'm so grateful. Like you guys have already seen a lot of my designs. There are a lot of Doc's designs and a lot of Sky Knight's designs are still behind closed doors, and hopefully they'll be rolling out too. I'm really excited for you guys to see them too. So yeah, I mean, my relationship with Hasbro after that went it's drama that it's complex. I can't speak to relationship with Renegade, but really that doesn't matter. I play tested for them, great. I did this other stuff for Hasbro. What matters is like be present now because this is goddamn awesome.
For sure, for sure.
And my concern, I don't know. I'm so excited about this. I think I'm probably going to wear a dumb costume to Gen Con. I'm not excited, so I'm thinking right now I'll probably dress up as some kind of dumb pirate because the pirates are
pirate.
So anyway, I don't have any beefs. Well, it's complicated, and I'm just happy.
Awesome. Well, and from my perspective, and this is something I'm probably going to be repeating because I've already gone through these things live, but I'd say my most favorite, and I'm going to bring her up here, Thea Bonnie, the Void Siren. As soon as I saw this miniature during the campaign for Avalon Hill, I'm just like, that is a character that I can use for ToV. I can see how I could fit her in to bring her to like the characters of the Airborne Elite in the world that I've created, and just expand that story. And even though her lore is short, it works for me because I can expand on it. When I'm just going to read again, behind her mask, Thea silently wonders how long it'll take for the Valkyrie to realize they are not the only ones who can reach between worlds. And I can use that, and it's not just worlds but time is what I'm what in my own non-canon type of lore. It's probably going to be something to do with time. Again, I'm just brainstorming this right now, but and not a bad hero either on the battlefield. I think I'd probably play her when it comes to like pirates and such. She just seems like a lot of fun. But as far as a character is concerned, I'm just like, yeah. So she has got to be my most favorite out of the whole bunch. For that.
That lore drives me crazy. It's the most evocative, but the least informative.
I get it.
Like, what does she mean?
Yeah.
What does she know?
What is going on?
It gives a little bit of mystery to it. I'm just like, yeah, I can mold this. I know it probably frustrates 99% of everybody. For me, I'm just like, yeah.
She's really fun to play too. Like with the pirate, like just sort of with the pirates.
Mm-hmm.
She's an active, fun figure on the battlefield. That was. I know, Ryan. This is your time, and
no, it's fine. It's fine.
I mean, I've talked about design before. I think on this show and on others. So, like, what you want is you want the mini to connect to the mechanics. You want the mechanics to connect to the theme, and the theme to connect to the mini. You should be able to read the card and see everything that. Unites these three. So that's like the basics of design. Once you have designed here you look at it and you think, all right, there's some like sort of retro pirate stuff going on. So you can like see these things. Here's the mini, that's the theme, those are the mechanics. Once you've done that, you have started the journey of design. Joe, pay attention. You've asked about how to design before.
Yep.
That's like the start. The second thing you need to do is like to elevate, because these were like pro. We wanted these to be above. You don't just want it to have those three features all connected and balanced, but you want it to play like the thing that it looks like. So like the Captain's Way. That's the name of the bonding power, right? That, I mean, unless they changed it. That's the hero, the squad's bonding power.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. It used to be different in a very early draft. In the very early draft, the way that power was set up, the best way to play the pirates was for them to pod up and like surround their captains. And that wasn't fun because pirates would be running all over the place and, shooting at everything and just making a mess all across the board. And so we redid it. I redesigned them. I redesigned that power in a way that would get them to spread out and make mayhem. What I like about this design is she is part of that. She isn't just like a pirate captain. She's a pirate captain who is part of that sort of let's all spread out all over the map, make mayhem everywhere. Like that's her deal.
Yeah, and I like how she's kind of both melee and range, at
the
same time.
Yeah, I mean
that
was all, and a little bit fragile, a little bit not. She wants to run around on the board and be like, she's not like Jack Sparrow, but she's not exactly not Jack Sparrow. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I appreciate the call out for this one. You guys are doing A+ work calling out ones that I worked on.
I think this figure is the most true to the tricky nomenclature. It feels and plays tricky, which is what I appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want it. I mean, you know Jeremy because you've worked inside the C3V, so you've seen these discussions about design philosophy all the time. It's, I mean, that all should a good design that should all come together.
For sure. Yeah. No, I really like it. And my gripe, I guess my major gripe is, and you just have to search my videos on my YouTube channel because I'm just going to say one thing. Pull the lever, Crunk. Wrong lever. And that's what I got to say when it comes to Renegade. There's a lever they need to pull, and I just don't think they're pulling it enough yet. Again, my email's open, everybody's email's open, and I cannot say that enough while my cat's throwing up in the other room. The mic picks up all these sounds. It's a lovely.
I didn't hear anything, but now we know. Thank you.
You told on yourself.
You'll hear it. You'll hear it in the replay. It's going to be heard. My ear.
Those on the audio sphere, you're welcome.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. You're welcome.
Exclusive podcast audio. It's Ryan's cat.
It's not behind the paywall either. It's all there for you. Yeah. All right. So I think we will wrap up then. And kind of gave our final thoughts. So we will give our final thoughts on the post show. And if you want to see the pre and post show backstages. Check out the Tales of Valhalla Patreon. Again, Tales of Valhalla Patreon for just $1 a month. You can check out a lot of extra backstage video content where we just talk about either Heroscape or whatever we feel like talking about, and it's very candid. We don't mind expressing ourselves in a lot more unique way. On those, but before we shut down, let me just catch up with let's see here, the comment thread here, because I know there was some more comments in the chat. Let's see here, Justin.
Ryan, can I jump in to say on that point?
Go ahead.
We talked for like half an hour before. I mean, that's like half an hour of content just before the show.
Yeah, we did.
That your Patreon subscribers would get
Exactly. And then we're gonna add it's like a we do pre-show and post-show. I put them together so it's just one big video. So yeah. Okay, Justin's saying Christmas comes in August this year, and Derek is saying and Christmas #2 comes in October, November 2. Yep. And Justin's saying I hoped and dreamed of Heroscape's return for years and was over the moon during the HasLab campaign, only to feel the pain of my heart ripped from my chest when it failed. Yeah, that was a lot of us. For sure. And Garanex, I don't know who this guy is. I'm sorry, I have no clue who this person is. But says Derek, there are a few of us in Omaha, Lincoln, Council Bluffs area. Shoot me a message at this same name on Discord or Heroscaper. So basically, Derek, you're getting people. You're getting people to join up with.
Garanex is an old. I mean, that's a name from the Heroscapers website.
Yeah. Oh no, I know exactly who he is. This is just a running joke. he knows that I know that he knows. It's just. See, we have these we have these jokes that and it's even funnier when people need to get caught up on it too. Okay, so yeah, there's a fun matchup there, and Justin said I ordered the painted sets when my bank account recovers. Would love to pick up unpainted battle box and paint Bonnie, similar to Mass Effect's Tali Zora, and I know Mass Effect. I don't know any of the characters in it though, but thank you, Justin. And then Derek says just something Garanex again. And Justin says, don't forget Ryan's health update segment in the pre-post show. Yeah. Justin is a Patreon supporter, and thank you so much, Justin, for doing that. And yes, I've had an ordeal the past few months, and yeah, I'm thank goodness in recovery. And Derek says, Dad's Gaper should end the stream by playing some Under the Bridge by Red Hot Chili Peppers on that acoustic back there. I don't if that wouldn't get me flagged.
Yeah, that's a DMCA strike.
That's how good it would be. It would be so good.
Maybe in the backstage, Derek. Maybe in the backstage. But how about we then close out? Instead of giving final thoughts, let's just plug our channels. Go ahead, Jeremy, and start.
Alrighty. Well, of course, you can always catch me on the interwebs under the SM Collate, ESSALIM. I have been posting short form. So I basically was like two weeks ago. Time is crazy. Anyways, not this last Thursday, but the last Thursday, I was able to go live, and I was showing everyone the Rise of the Valkyrie master set, and kind of like, comparing and contrasting what was in that box and what came with it, and what was available for that time versus what we're getting now. And so it was a really cool show. Kind of got to explain a lot of really cool stuff. And I've been taking small portions of that, and then posting down like TikTok and things like that. And it's been really interesting. Been getting some interest. I think a lot of I saw that Renegade's also posting TikToks. I know they post on Instagram. I've been posting on Instagram. Just trying to get the word out there as much as possible. Get everyone involved in the pre-order, wave of stuff, and then hopefully being able to do some more kind of like actual play style stuff I want to do. So look forward to that, because like I said, I've been talking to the Game Store about promoting the Heroscape at his store, getting that pre-order opportunity there. And I am looking, I haven't pre-ordered yet, but I am looking to pre-order through his store, because I want to give back the support to both him and the company. So I want to see how that goes. And then if anyone's in the area, if you want to help support too, we'll have that opportunity. But yeah, that's basically it for me. Just keep your eyes out. I know now that we have like bios and stuff like that, I want to get into the lore of everything, kind of compare and contrast, and see if we can like get as much information as possible organized in a way so we're prepared for whatever drops in August. So really cool. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, yield my time.
Thank you, Jeremy. Josiah, go ahead.
Well, I am Josiah, otherwise known as the Roguescaper. I have been busy working on things. I got a lot of things in now. If you're interested in painting your stuff and want to get some tips on that, definitely check out my channel. Or if you just want some more helpful information concerning Heroscape, we have kind of breakdowns of the need to know announcement. That's been surprisingly getting a lot of attention there, as well as just a character index with spin arounds of all of the classic characters. So if you want some reference points, got some more content, creator collabs like my Spotlight series I've been working on shows for a bit, and actually I talked to Derek as well. So expect some of that, and some painting tutorials got put in the can as well. So I'm busy. I have been kind of quiet and absent, but I'm excited, and I am the Roguescaper, and I'll yield my time.
All right. Thank you, sir. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, well, I mean, Age of Annihilation is here. I'm so happy for it. Busy bee as I. I was hoping when I came back to do YouTube content that I would be able to keep up on that weekly content. But it seems like, I guess, the level of quality that I want is taking a little bit longer. So it seems like some of these videos are coming out every other week now.
Sometimes you got to sacrifice quality for consistency. Yeah,
you do. So even look. For me, as long as I get at least 4 videos out, a month, I'm happy. But regardless of when they come out, like if it's instead of it being like a Friday or Saturday or Sunday, it's like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. But as long as I get 4 videos out, like that's my guarantee. So I'm looking forward. I'm in the process of finalizing a script for my next one, and hopefully I'll have that out by the following weekend, where I talk about NGC and the future of customs for Heroscape. So I'm really happy to really showcase some more creative people in this world making content for Heroscape. There's not really much else going on, I guess. I mean, I'm just writing down more ideas, giving myself more work to do. So at the end of the day, and also I didn't realize I added to my list of affiliates because I've been trying to keep track of whoever has any affiliate codes through Renegade. Chris Perkins has one for the .org website. So I did not notice that, and I wanted to put that on the list. So definitely, I will be talking about that on the next video as well. But yeah, use someone's affiliate code. If it's mine, if it's Chris's, Sir Heroscape has one, Tabletop Bro, and Rye Guy. So please use somebody's code, or if you can support a small store, do that too. Support somebody. Don't just go without doing that. Please support somebody. This community has been doing a lot of work, so keep on doing that. So don't forget, I am not crazy. I'm so crazy.
And
I yield my time.
I'll add to what Joe's saying as well, because I do not have an affiliate. I don't plan to get an affiliate because there's a lot of y'all that I feel like need that more. And again, link in the description below for everybody. And I also have a link for Joe's affiliate link. And so if you want to purchase Heroscape, you can do that through him because I want the credit to go to Joe Crazy's channel. So yeah, definitely do that if you want to purchase. And I've been saying that last few weeks, but I'll continue saying that. Ben, now I know you don't have a channel or anything, but I do have a link in the description below for Ben's Heroscapers profile. If you want to check him out, have a conversation with him. He is probably available on there. If you want to give that shout out, Ben, before we close.
Yeah. Thank you for putting up that link. I'm available on Heroscapers. I don't hide. I just don't have a channel or tweet anything. But yeah, it's pretty easy. If you want to communicate with me, it's pretty easy to find me on Heroscapers as Dadscaper or many of these other places as DS3272. So what am I grateful for? When the Indianapolis Colts left Baltimore in 1986, the team and all of its equipment went to Indianapolis. The band, however, did not. The Baltimore Colts marching band stayed in goddamn Baltimore. Absolute truth. It's the band that wouldn't die. They stayed in Baltimore and played as they were the Baltimore Colts marching band, and they stayed in place until 1996 when the Ravens showed up. When the Ravens showed up, then they played for the Ravens because they were not moving. There are stakeholders in the Heroscape community who have been the Baltimore Colts marching band. And it's been us in the C3V, the work that we've been doing, keeping the pro level content out there for the tournament directors and for others who want canon worthy designs out there. But it hasn't just been us. It's been you guys too. It has been you guys who are the content creators who are building out keeping the work of the art alive, the writing of the legacy content, the painting of the minis, the telling of the stories, the entertaining videos. That's you guys. So, you guys have been part of the Baltimore Colts marching band for all these years, and it's really thrilling to me that at least for a little while we get to say mission accomplished, not in the George W. Bush way with the aircraft carrier or the war that's still ongoing, not that way, but actually, like, for a little while we get to put down all our equipment and be like, thank God competent professionals are now here to carry this for a little while.
Right.
And that's great. And so I just want, I know I already said the same thing before in a different way, but I just want to celebrate that again and celebrate the work that you guys have done to get us here, because without the community, none of this would be happening. And that's not just
right.
Craig said the same thing. Ryan, particularly, you really like the name Rakshot, Steward of Death.
I
right?
like that one too.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was my original name. That was my name.
Oh, okay.
Avalon Hill changed it. And
interesting.
Yeah. And so I don't know anything about Renegade's process. Like I said, I'm just glad to see that the name that I put on that design is on it again.
At least it's good to know that they're keeping all the receipts and
Yeah. Apparently they've kept receipts. I'm not there. I don't know. But all right. So thank you guys again for having me on the show.
Thank you for
support your local content creators, and I look forward to next time.
All right. Thank you, Ben. And of course, I am Ryan, Tales of Valhalla, the guy who does all this crazy stuff because, well, why not? I enjoy it. You got to have a purpose somewhere, and I find my little niche doing this. And again, if it wasn't for Avalon Hill doing this, a ToV podcast would have never happened, because that's how it started. So again, 50 episodes into this, 50 plus really episodes into this, and thankful to have this platform, have this community, and it keeps on growing. It keeps on growing. So really, really appreciate that. Again, links in the description below for everything if you're watching this on YouTube, and everybody on Spotify who listen, or the Audiosphere, appreciate you all. And I'm usually streaming every Sunday and every Wednesday some type of, it's either my stop motion animations of Heroscape, it's playing Heroscape, it's usually got something to do with Heroscape. So stay tuned, and we'll see what we can do in the future. It's going to be a lot of fun, and a lot of things in the works. So yeah, appreciate everybody, appreciate the support. And so with that, I thank you all for watching. Oh, again, we'll be doing it backstage afterwards, so I don't know what we're going to be saying. Probably be important things. So possibly check out the Tales of Valhalla Patreon. Even though I don't have an affiliate link, you can find ways to support me that way if you're so inclined. But I appreciate really anything, the subs, the comments, everything motivates me to keep on going. So I appreciate y'all. With that, I thank you all for watching. You have a purpose in your life. Find it, pursue it, live it, and we'll see all of you next time. And I'm going to be doing a cold close tonight. There's no music in the background. Sorry, it's just going to be silent. So later.